Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. If you are prepping for TEF or TCF exams, then I'm 100% sure that you're using PrepMyFuture. But I am also 90% sure that you're using it only for mock test, and there are some other important elements on PrepMyFuture which you're probably not even aware about. So in this video, I want to draw your attention to all those important sections on PrepMyFuture which can really help you to improve your score, specifically in the reading and listening section. Once you register on PrepMyFuture, you can go to tests section and you're going to find 3 complete mock tests for each section: listening, reading, speaking and writing, TEF 1, 2 and 3. And then you're going to find one mini test. So let me just show you one of them. So you will find each section: comprehensive écrit, oral, expressive écrit, expressive oral. In comprehensive écrit, there are 50 questions and you get 60 minutes to answer them. For listening section, comprehensive oral, there are 60 questions and you get 40 minutes to complete them. So for instance, if you go to comprehensive écrit, you will get questions one by one. On the top right corner, you can see the timer and the number of questions. So you can select any of these options and then you can validate and you can move on to the next question. So this is how the complete mock test look like. If you want to take a mini mock test to get a feel of how the TEF exam is conducted, you can also take mini TEF. In this one, you're not going to get all the questions. So for instance, for reading section, you would only get 15 questions and you would get 18 minutes to complete this section. I have not used PrepMyFuture for writing and speaking specific preparation, but I used it a lot for reading and listening and it was super helpful. So these are the mock tests. So this is the place basically where you can find all the mock tests, and there are some additional also some mini mock tests provided here as well. But PrepMyFuture is not just limited to exam specific mock test. If you explore some other options right here like program and leçon et activité, you can find a lot of other important information. Let me just take you through some of them. In program, so if you want to know about TEF exam, le TEF c'est quoi? You can go to this particular section and you can read more about what is TEF, how the exam is conducted, and there is also a video wherein they provide some details about the TEF exam, and you can also find the same information in the written format. Here you can also see a sample of how your result is going to look like and the difference between TEF and DELF. And guys, please know that this video is not sponsored. I mean, at the time of recording this video, I have about only 800 subscribers. So there is no way that this video can be sponsored. But I have an affiliate link to share with you. So when you register on PrepMyFuture, you get 1 year access to mock test for both TEF and TCF. But you have to pay about 39 euros for that. If you use my affiliate link, you will get 10% discount, and instead of 39 euros, you will only have to pay about 35 euros. So if you have not signed up on PrepMyFuture yet, you can go ahead and use my affiliate link. Alright, so let's go back to my screen and let me show you more examples. You also have some details on each and every section. So for example, for comprehensive oral, which is listening section, you have this part 1 by 2 and then you have this section right here 2 by 2. So what you find in this section is essentially the more details on each and every section. So for example, if you are struggling a lot with the long conversation part because it is very difficult to understand and you want some advice, then there is no better place to go for advice than PrepMyFuture itself. So you can go to their long message section, and here you can read all the information about it, and they all have also provided one example here. So this is in the written form, which you're obviously not going to get in the exam, but this is just for you to read through and then answer the question, and then they have provided the right answer and some advice on how you can find the right answer for this particular question in this paragraph. Then right here, this is the best part about PrepMyFuture. They give advice on each and every section, as in how you can improve your listening comprehension, what are the things that you need to pay attention to. So let's look at it in detail. Conseil numéro 1. The first advice is attention à la longueur de l'enregistrement. They are saying to pay attention to the length of the recording, because in long conversation, length is going to be little bit long. Soyez prêt lorsque l'enregistrement démarre. Restez bien attentif jusqu'au bout et prenez éventuellement en note des mots qui vous paraissent importants. So, because it is a long conversation, you should stay attentive when it starts and also take note of some words which may seem important to you. Lisez bien les questions. Vous avez quelques secondes. Avant le bout de la première écoute pour lire les questions, faites-le avec attention. Cela vous permettra de savoir ce que vous devez écouter. En effet, dans le dialogue, tout ne serait pas utile. Alors, il faut savoir ce que le veut que vous entendiez. Very important. Before the conversation starts, you will have few seconds to read the question. And please stay attentive because it's very important to read the questions before the recording starts, because it is going to give you some idea about what you are going to listen to. Why is it important? Because the entire conversation is not going to be important. Only few part of it would be important to answer a particular question. Just to give you an example, if there is a conversation between two people and the question is, when did person 2 actually go on a vacation? When the conversation start, person 2 might say to person 1 that, I've been trying to go on a vacation for a long time now, but I have been keeping very busy with work, so I could not go until last week when I went to Paris for a vacation. So while that person may have said the word vacation multiple times in the conversation, the details about when she actually went for the vacation was actually said in the last line only. That's why it is important to listen to the entire conversation and stay attentive so that you know the part where they actually answer the question. Third advice, l'expression du poids de vous. Revoyez utilement les conseils donnés dans l'exercice précédent, car l'une des deux questions porte souvent sur le poids de vous d'une des personnes qui parlent. Ainsi, repérez des phrases comme je ne pense pas, je trouve que, j'espère que, absolument pas ou tout à fait vous aidera à déterminer la position du locuteur. Alright, so in the long conversation part, at least two questions are based on the opinion of the other person. So when you hear conversation between two people, the journalist might ask the other person that what do you think about it. So you have to pay attention to phrases like, I don't think so, je ne pense pas, je trouve que, I think or I find that, I hope that, absolutely not. So these are tout à fait, exactement. So these are some phrases that you should pay attention to, because these are the kind of phrases that we use when we give our opinion. So when you hear these phrases, just stay very, very attentive, because now probably you're going to find the answer of that particular question. Yeah, so these are some advices, and this has played a very important role for me because I didn't really have anybody to guide me on the listening and reading part. And I really paid attention to these little advices for each and every section of listening and reading in PrepMyFuture. And it has really helped me to improve my score in both of these sections. I remember in the listening section, I was struggling a lot with that section wherein you have to identify the place where the conversation is happening. And I used to make a lot of mistakes. So I went through the advice on that particular section and I found one line which actually changed the entire game for me. And the advice was that when you're listening to this conversation, really pay attention to the background noise, because that would help you to identify the place of that conversation. And I clearly remember there was one question wherein somebody is making an announcement about a circus which is going to happen in the city, and you have to identify where that announcement is being made. And the examples were supermarket, on the road, in the circus itself. Had I not paid attention to the background noise, wherein I could hear that there were vehicles passing by and there were a lot of people, there was a lot of noise, I probably would have selected circus as the option, but the right answer was road. And I could really guess that answer because I could hear a lot of vehicles noise. So I think that advice was helpful, and that's why I highly recommend that you go through the advice for each and every section, and that can actually be extremely helpful for you as well. Apart from that, if you go to leçon et activité section, there is also one section on grammar. wherein you can find some very useful information, very useful details on different grammar rules, along with some exercises. Apart from that, if you also have vocabulary on different topics, vocabulary by theme and global vocabulary. And then you also have some exercises. When you have learned this vocabulary, you can also attempt some exercises. So I feel these are some sections which you should definitely explore apart from just using it for mock test. That's all I wanted to share in this video. Hope you have found this video helpful. And whenever you have any questions about any specific section, I think the first go-to source for you should be PrepMyFuture, now that you know where you can find answers specifically for reading and listening specific sections. Yeah, so that's it for today's video, and I will see you very, very soon. Till then, take care and all the best. Bye.